All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to go racing in November.
I'll be honest with you, I did not think that we would be racing in November, but I am happy that Randy and Kim Smart, they took the gamble, and we're getting ready to go racing here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in November. And I apologize, I was here a little bit late. My daughter turns 21 tomorrow, and I had to take her out to lunch today. We went out for a little family luncheon. So
number 17 is Chris Farrell. The 14 is Flying Ryan Likens in a brand new car here that's never been on the track. Car number 3, it's a new lady here at Midvale Speedway, Allison LaRocco. We're going to go 8 circles around Midvale Speedway. We're going to get that number 3 caught up.
The Speedway, a little light on the bando count tonight. They got a big race elsewhere, is what I was told. Green flag is in the air. And Chris Farrell in the 17, Ryan Likens in the 14, and Allison LaRocco making her first career start in a bando in car number 3. Still side by side into turn number 3. And Ryan Likens going to have the race lead. Also, I was told, John White told me, grandfather of Chris Farrell in the 17, said that 17 car for sale. So if somebody wants to get their kid into Bandolero racing, Buddha, I think this is a great way to get a kid started in racing by the Bandoleros.
It is. I mean, this is the ground floor to put a kid in the car, give him some seat time, let him practice during the week, and let him get the feel of what it is like in a real race car.
Him or her, right?
Or her also.
Because we got a her out there right now. She's in that number 3 car. First ever time she's been in a race car. Doing a pretty good job so far. Allison LaRocco out there. And Ryan Likens going to cross the line one more time. Chris Farrell in that second spot. Again, the bandos, you know, they probably would have been here in full force had we ran this race on schedule. But you know what? Mother Nature hasn't liked us a lot this year. So we had to move this date, and we're happy that 3 of them showed up and they get the race tonight anyway. Halfway home.
We got 4 in with 4 to go. And you're right about that, Chris. Mother Nature did bless us this week. Last week was a terrible week. And if we'd have tried to run it last week, there was no way we were going to get her in.
Yeah, I know that they had the swap meet down here at Midvale Speedway last weekend. I'm not sure. Hans, was you was down here. How did things go with the swap meet last weekend?
I'll tell you what, for the first year, it went pretty good. If you guys look across and you see the first row of the pit pads, they were pretty full. Almost every pad was full. We had a decent little count, but I think it'll grow as years come.
All right, that's good to hear. Good to hear. I'm sure the weather probably played factor in that as well.
Okay, white flag will be coming out this time. Flying Ryan Likens in that number 14 is our leader. Chris Farrell, 17, is second. Allison LaRocco bringing up the rear in that 3rd position.
Hey, you want to know what the beauty is of having 3 cars in a race? You still get on the podium if you finish last.
Absolutely. It's called 1, 2, 3. And coming across to take the checker flag, car number 14, Flying Ryan Likens. Chris Farrell second, Allison LaRocco is 3rd. As it comes down to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big, big round of applause for car number 14, Mr. Flying Ryan Likens.
Sponsored by Rylon Painting, Lewis Tools, Family Tradition, Racing in Tent City Performance, all the way from Dayton, Ohio.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, coming out on the track right now is our late model heat race. Car number 70 tonight is driven by Mr. Bob Page. The 167 is Ripley's, believe it or not, Lucas Ripley. The number 1 is Jesse Adams.
Beautiful paint scheme, Bob Page, the Enos family, the Carl Enos, number 70. Awesome looking paint scheme there from Bob Page and John Tannerelli. Beautiful, beautiful car. Your champion in the late models, Bob Page in that number 70 machine. Two-time champion in the late model division this year.
Okay, car number 83 is R.J. White. And the number 65 tonight is driven by Jimmy Carter.
The El Presidente in the number 65, giving them some warm-up laps. Definitely going to make sure that everybody gets heat in the tires and we're good to go here tonight. Good to see Jesse Adams back out in that number 1 machine. R.J. White had a good run in the Labor Day Ohio Invitational. Buddha, that 83 car was strong before he had some mechanical issues.
Yes, he was. The last time he was on the track, he was really burning up some rubber, taking down some names. Okay, we're going to go 10 laps around. I'm sorry, it's 8 laps around Midvale Speedway for our late model heat race.
All right, the two John Tannerelli machines up front, the 70 and 67. Green flag in the air, 8 lap McIntosh Oil Company late model heat race number 1 here at Midvale Speedway for the 2023 Fall Classic. The big dog, Lucas Ripley on the outside, your champion in 2023, Bob Page on the bottom. Bob Page going to have the race lead off of turn number 4.
Okay, Bob Page still our leader, but on the inside, here comes the number 1 car of Jesse Adams. Jesse Adams moving up to that number 2 position, but Lucas Ripley's not willing to give it up willingly. Now as we come down the front straightaway, it's going to be Bob Page. Jesse Adams and Lucas Ripley moves back to that number 3 position. The 83 of R.J. White on the inside of Lucas Ripley takes that number 3 position. We're coming in on lap number 4. Lap number 4. 4 in, 4 to go. We're halfway home.
Jesse Adams in that number 1 moves up on the back of the 70. That Enos machine. The throwback paint scheme. Carl Enos, Mike Enos, Mark Enos have all drove this paint scheme over the years. And Jesse Adams right on the tail end of Bob Page in the number 70. And lap number 6 in the books.
Next time around, I'll be coming in on a white flag. Bob Page, our leader, Jesse Adams, second, R.J. White in that number 3 position.
Off turn number 4, checkered flag for Bob Page. Jesse Adams will finish second, R.J. White in third, and the big dog Lucas Ripley and the 65 of El Presidente.
Okay, as he comes down to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big, big round of applause for car number 70, Mr. Bob Page.
Your 2023 late model champion, now a 2-time champion in this awesome Carl Enos throwback paint scheme. Sponsors on the car, Heron Heating and Cooling, Smokers Paradise, Bullseye Pheasant, Pine Tavern, Bob Page from Uricksville, Ohio, and the car owned by Honky John Tannerelli.
Okay, we're coming out with our second late model heat race of the evening. Car number 17 is Bob Schneider. The 21 is Tim Allensworth. And 22 is Rich Bull. And the number 12, Alex Stavars.
How about Rich Bowl, all the way from Plymouth, Indiana, in that number 22? About his third or fourth visit to Midvale Speedway. And Rich Bowl loves coming over here, and we love having him. Good to see Rich Bowl all the way from Plymouth, Indiana, here at Midvale Speedway.
And you know what, Chris, sitting up here in the tower, just looking across into the pits, what a great sight it is to see all them trailers and them cars here at Midvale Speedway for our cavalcade here.
Yeah, over 110 cars over pit side. We've got a good field of cars in all the divisions. Unfortunately, it's late in the year, right? And a lot of guys decide, hey, you know what? November time frame, they start tearing these race cars down and getting them rebuilt for next year. It's good to see that a lot of guys held off on that for us and for this cavalcade. Green flag in the air, Snyder and Rich Bowl.
Coming across the lead, lap number 1 is Bob Schneider. Rich Bowl in that number 2 position. And 21 of Tim Allensworth in at number 3. We're going 8 laps around Midvale Speedway with our second late model heat race of the year.
What a beautiful ride that 21 is, Tim Allensworth. Just a beautiful paint scheme. That car just looks mean on the racetrack, doesn't it?
It sure does.
Good battle up front. Rich Bowl still working that outside lane. Tim Allensworth now to the bottom as Bob Snyder Jr. still out front. Rich Bowl trying to work the outside lane. Here comes Allensworth side by side for the second spot.
That was lap number 4. We're coming in on lap number 5 with 3 laps to go. Bob Snyder still holding that 21 and Tim Allensworth off. Rich Bowl on the outside. Now Tim Allensworth takes that number 2 position. This time we'll be coming around on lap number 6. Lap number 6.
Rich Bowl, one of those guys that runs at South Bend Speedway over in Indiana, comes all the way over here once or twice a year. Good to have him. He's sitting there in that 3rd spot in the old Brian Erickson ride. Bob Snyder Jr. going to take the white flag calmly and coolly out front. Don't forget Mid-Vid Racing videos. They got that onboard live camera on Bob Snyder Jr. So he's going to come off with turn number 4. He's going to take heat race number 2. Bob Snyder Jr., Tim Allensworth, Rich Bowl, and Alex Stavar. Talked to Alex Stavar earlier, and I said, hey, how about we get a little bit of good luck for you, young man? He said, I sure hope so tonight.
I'll tell you, the last 3 times out here, that poor guy is, Lady Luck has not been on his side. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes down to victory lane, let's have a big, big round of applause for car number 17, Mr. Bob Schneider.
Bob Snyder Jr. from Denison, Ohio, in the My Water Doctor, Guest Motors, Jeff Wallach LLC, Factory Street Pub and Grill, C3 Excavating, Smith's Auto Sales, Van Meters Auto Repair, Alexis Building System, Weathermakers Heating and Cooling, and FLF Race Car sponsored number 17.
Okay, car number 62, Caleb Swanson. The 999 of Neil Rowley. The 42, Tim Sibla. The number 10 is Tim Frederick. Okay, white flag's out. We're going to be going 8 circles around Midvale Speedway with our 3rd late model heat race of the evening.
Rowley out in front in the 999. He'll lead lap number 1. Caleb Swanson in second, Tim Sibla third, and Tim Frederick in a new late model ride. He is in that number 10 car. I believe that number 10 is the old Billy Straley 26 car from the main event days.
I think you're right. That kind of does look like it. And I'll tell you what, Tim Frederick's having some handling problems with that. Yeah, back in the main event, he was number 26. Okay, we're going to be coming in on lap 4 this time, lap 4. 4 in, 4 to go. We're halfway home with our favorite late model heat race of the evening. White flag coming out this time, 1 lap to go. Neil Rowley is our leader. Caleb Swanson second, and Tim Sibla in the 42 is third.
Off turn number 4, checkered flag for Neil Rowley in the 999. Caleb Swanson second, Tim Sibla third, and Tim Frederick will finish in the 4th spot.
Okay, coming down the victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, have a big, big round of applause for the 999 of Neil Rowley.
Roswell, Ohio driver in the 999. Neil Rowley does a lot of stuff for Midvale Speedway behind the scenes. Does a lot. I'll tell you what, little maintenance man. He does a little bit of everything. We appreciate Neil Rowley for being here and picking up heat race number 3.
Okay, now coming out on the raceway is our compact heat race. The 429 is Cameron Walker. The 427 is Josh Hupp. 72 of Mike Stuber. The 9 is Gavin Hoop. The 45, Timmy Caleb. The 36, Rich Dunlap. Blaze Bacon in the 57, 68, Corbin Robinson, and 77, Josh Peeble.
Jonathan Smith, green flag in the air for the compacts.
Okay, caution's coming out on the track. Caution on the track.
Old Timmy Krabs or Timmy Kalp or Timmy Caleb, whatever we want to call him, he needs to turn his radio on. Either way, he's out there restarting or going to start in the 5th spot. Green flag in the air. Josh Huff gets shoved up really high on the racetrack. He gathers it back up and continues on. Your race leader, Mike Stuber, in the 72.
Okay, looking on the inside, Gavin Root at that number 9. Want to take that first place away from the 72 of Mike Stuber. And now Gavin Root goes out to that number 1 position. Mike Stuber goes back to that number 2 position. And Rich Dunlap in the 36 is third. But now Rich Dunlap trying to make a move on the 72 on the inside. But he had the door closed on him. We're coming in on lap number 4 this time. Lap number 4, 4 in, 4 to go. We're halfway home with our first compact heat race of the evening.
Boy, Gavin Root kind of checking out in that, I mean, it looks like a Steelers race car, doesn't it?
Oh, it sure does. But the only thing with the Steelers car, it's got the Browns orange on the inside of that number 9.
It does have the Browns orange on it, so it's a Brown Ealers car.
That was lap number 6. We'll be coming in on lap number 7. White flags coming out this time with 1 to go. And Gavin Root holding on to a commanding lead. The 72 of Mike Stuber is second.
White flag in the air. Good battle for third between Rich Dunlap and the Sizzler Blaze Bacon. Bacon to the outside of Dunwoody in turn number 1 and 2. Looks like Gavin Root going to sail the victory, Buddha.
As he comes down the front straightaway, it's going to be Gavin Root, Mike Stuber, Rich Dunlap, and the Sizzler himself, Blaze Bacon. And I think his nickname, if I'm not mistaken here, Chris, is Sugardale.
Sugardale. No, man, it's the Sizzler.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes down the victory lane, let's have a big, big round of applause for the number 9 car of Gavin Root.
Barnhill, Ohio driver in the C&K Auto, TNG Cleaning Service, Lutz Body and Paint, J-Mac Auto Detailing, and TDT Septic and Excavating sponsored number 9.
This is going to be our second compact heat race of the evening. The number 0 is Alan Clark. The 47, Don Ruppner Jr. The 37 is Kenny Can You Bet on the Bets Jr. 17, Chris Kaufman. The 62 is Caden Scott. The number 5 is Tabby Stuber, and Dan Buckley bringing up the rear in the 69. I'm sorry, I was just told in the 69 is Nate Smart.
So Nate Smart back in a compact. He'll start at the rear in the Dan Bucky machine. Has Tabby Stuber, Caden Scott right in front of him. Then the 17 of Noah Kaufman driving one of those Bucky machines. Kenny Betts, DR Jr. in the 47 on the pole. Alan Clark on the outside. Getting ready to go green. Heat race number 2 of the compacts. And we're underway. Looks like maybe a flat left rear on the 62 or maybe a flat right rear. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong side. I don't know. Car looks low in the back to me, Buddha.
It looks like he might have a flat tire in the back here. Okay, Don Ruppner. That 47 car out in number 1 position. Alan Clark and Kenny Betts battling for that second and third, but looks like Kenny Can You Bet on the Bets Jr.
I got a bet that says that Kenny Betts is coming to the front right now. That 37 on the move behind Don Ruffner Jr. as he disposes of Alan Clark. Betts up to that second spot. Good battle for the 4th spot. Tabby Stuber a little chrome horn and Noah Kaufman in the 17. We can't call Tabby Stuber our only champion at Midvale Speedway anymore because Chloe Mazzagatti was our Bando champion this year. So 2 female champions in the last couple of years here at Midvale Speedway.
That's a great achievement here to have 2 girls been in different divisions here at Midvale. Kenny Betts right on the back of Don Ruffner Jr.'s bumper. He's going to be looking for to try to get on the inside of him or the outside, a little bump.
Alan Clark trying to climb back up there to get to the inside of Betts, and he's going to get there by about a half a car length. Kenny Betts still in that outside lane. DR Jr. up front.
White flag will be coming out this time. Don Rupner holding on to that #1 position. Now the 0 of Alan Clark up to that #2 position. Kenny Betts on the outside, still fighting to hold that #2 position.
Grandma in that number 0, she takes back over that second spot. Going to take over second behind Don Rupner Jr. Look at Grandma up on the wheel out there.
Oh my God. Coming across to take the checkered flag is car number 7, 47, Don Rupner Jr., the 0 of Alan Clark, and the 37 of Kenny. Can you bet Betts is 3rd?
You see old Alan Clark in that 0. He was up on that wheel like Grandma used to be.
He was hanging on for dear life. As he comes down the victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big, big round of applause for car number 47, Mr. Don Rupner Jr.
In the Rupner Racing, Animal Racing, sponsor number 47R. Man, that guy out there is like a fart in a windstorm.
Okay, car number 33 is Harmony Betts, Jacob Keller in the 37, the 43, Andrew Sellers, A.J. Andrews in the 19, 29 is Brendan Neely, Jonathan Weber's in the 85, the 44 of Laura Day, and the 3L Justin Lenars, and I don't have a driver's name on the number 9. Okay, I was just told the number 9 is Jimbo Roop. Okay, green flag's out. We're underway with our 3rd compact heat race of the evening.
We did turn on the FM radio, so if you have your FM radio and you asked about it, the FM radio is now on. Thank you.
Okay, coming for the lead is the 37 of Jacob Keller, the 42.
Otto Palilli tried to get to the outside of the 42 of Damian Andrews to no avail. Heard Otto Palilli, longtime competitor back when the compacts first started. He's driving Andrew Bether's car as he gets slid up the racetrack. He just bought one of the Crown Vics, so good to see one of the old timers in the compacts. Going to be in the Crown Vic class next year, Otto Palilli.
That's going to be a nice class coming down here at Midvale Speedway next year.
So caution on the Speedway, the 37 of Keller and the 42 of Andrews in turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. Justice Lenars will have the race lead. Jonathan Weber in the second spot. Then the 29 of Brendan Neely. Then the 37 of Keller. The 33 of Betts. And the 42 of Andrews. So Justice Lenars out front in the 3L. Jonathan Weber trying to run him down. 2 laps to go this time.
Okay, white flag will be coming out this time. Justin Lenars is our leader. Jonathan Weber in the 85 is second. And the 29 of Brendan Neely is in that number 3 position. Okay, coming through to take the checkered flag this time is the 3L of Justice Lenars. Jonathan Weber second, Brendan Neely third, and A.J. Andrews in the 19th is fourth. Okay, coming out on the track now is our Rad Air Legend Heat Race. The 76 of Matt Kelly, 43 of Chuck Witt, the number 9 is Daniel Hall, and the 77 is Nick Galuda. The number 5 is Ron Harvey, and the 17 is Greg Reddick.
So again, going to give them a lap or two just to make sure they got the heat in the tires and all that good stuff. We'll do the same for the open modifieds and crate modifieds coming up. Just want to make sure everybody's got good heat in the tires. That's why we started a little bit early. We've got our track or treat coming up in just a little bit at intermission before we do our Legend and Bando features. Also our compact buy-in and officials race to wrap up night number 1 of the 2023 Fall Classic at Midvale Speedway. Field gets the one to go signal. Dan Hall on the bottom. He's going to pick up the second spot. Galata going to move up there. Chuck Witt up the racetrack off of turn number 4. Dan Hall going to lead lap number 1, and Nick Galata in second. Boy, Chuck Witt, he's got a dump truck on his hands in that 43 machine. It's pushing way up the racetrack as here comes the 17 of Greg Rusnick. Nick Galata to the race lead. He'll lead lap number 2 in that 77. Dan Hall back to second, and Resnick up to the third spot.
Okay, Nick Galata still holding on to that number 1 position. Dan Hall, Greg Rudzik, and then Chuck Witt in the 43 back to that number 4 position. This time we'll be coming in on lap number 4. Lap number 4, 4 in, 4 to go. We're halfway home with our Rat Air Legend Heat Race.
Nick Galata, Matt Hall, and Greg Rudzik. Chuck Witt, Matt Kelly, Ron Harvey.
Coming in on lap number 6, this time lap number 6, Nick Galata. Out is our leader, Dan Hall, and Greg Ruddick in the number 3 position. White flag will be coming out this time with 1 lap to go.
Final time down the back straightaway for Nick Galata in the 77. Dan Hall and Rudzik in the second and third spots off turn number 4. Your winner, Nick Galata.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes down to victory lane, let's have a big round of applause for car number 77, Mr. Nick Galata.
North Canton, Ohio driver in the Wingman Garage, Moons Auto Recycling, and Jamie Marie Photography sponsored number 77.
Okay, coming out on the raceway now is our open modifieds. Car number 18 is Kenny Feaster Jr. The number 0 is, believe it or not, Lucas Ripley. The number 10, Nathan Embry. The 57 is Tyler Knuckles. The 51 is Rick Elkins Jr. And the 21 is Bryce Allensworth.
So field getting ready to come to green. Hall of Famer Terry Coletti, green flag in hand, and we're underway. And we won't be. Caution on the speedway.
Okay, caution coming out. We're going to line them up, do it again.
So I'll be getting ready to go.
Yellow staying out on the track.
Don't forget about Nick Peebles up here on the main deck of the scoring tower. He's got those tickets from BP, or pictures from BP Photography. So make sure you stop up and see Nick. He's got those for just $1. Brett does a great job if you need senior pictures taken for your senior. The big dog, Lucas Ripley, will lead lap number 1. Kenny Feaster Jr. second. Rick Elkins working on the outside of Ohio Invitational winner Nathan Embry for the 3rd spot.
See how leading that number 1 position is Lucas Ripley. The 18 of Kenny Feaster Jr. in that number 2 position. And that number 51 of Rick Elkins Jr. trying to hold on to that number 3 position. Coming on lap number 4 this time. Lap number 4. We have 4 to go. Lucas Ripley, our leader. Kenny Feaster Jr. second. And now on the inside, that car number 10, Nathan Embry, at that number 3 position.
Still a good battle for that 3rd spot. Rick Elkins Jr. trying to get around the 10 of Nathan Embry on the outside lane behind Kenny Feaster Jr. Also Bryce Allensworth right there in the 21. Good battle for 3rd.
Okay, white flag will be coming out this time. Lucas Ripley, the Ripleys, believe it or not, in that number 1 position. Kenny Feaster second. Kenny Feaster, then Rick Elkins Jr. in that number 3 position. As he comes across the checkered flag, Lucas Ripley, Kenny Feaster Jr., Rick Elkins, and Nathan Embry in that number 4 position. As he comes down to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for Ripley's, believe it or not, Mr. Lucas Ripley.
The big dog, Lucas Ripley, sponsored by LTR Industries, Y Tavern, Eddie Performance, TVU Graphics, and DMD Machine for the Ericksville, Ohio driver in the number 0.
Okay, the 24 is Nick Grubb. The 32 is Stormin Norman Taylor. The 02 is Rick Sibla. The 21 is Tim Ellensworth. Brady Sweet is in the 57. And Jeff Dunphy, the 3rd, is in the number 3.
Getting ready to go green off of turn number 4, Storm and Norm Taylor, Nick Grubbs. Nick Grubbs off the bottom just a little bit. Norm Taylor a little squirrely on the high side. He's going to get to the bottom, but Nick Grubbs going to lead lap number 1 with Norm Taylor, Tim Allensworth, the 02 of Cibolo, the 3 of Dunphy, the 3rd, the 57 of Sweeney.
Nick Grubbs is our leader. Norm Taylor second. Tim Allensworth is number 3 position. Now looks like Norm Taylor's trying to come on the outside. Will he hook up? Side by side, Norm Taylor looks like he wants that number 1 position.
Here comes Jeff Dunphy, the 3rd. He gets around Tim Allensworth to move up to the 3rd spot, but Storm and Norm with a storm to the lead in heat race number 2.
We'll be coming in on lap number 6. Nick Grubbs in the 24 is second, and Jeff Dunphy the 3rd, and number 3 is 3. One flag will be coming out this time, 1 lap to go.
Off of turn number 2, final time down the back straightaway. Storm and Norm Taylor gonna win heat race number 2. Norm Taylor, of course, already has an open modified win here at Midvale Speedway. The 24 of Nick Grubbs, the 3 of Jeff Dunphy, the 3rd, the 21 of Tim Allensworth pulling double duty this weekend, all the way from North Carolina. And the 57 of Braden Sweeney, he's got a couple of those open mod wins here at Midvale Speedway. Rick Sibble in the 02, former champion here in the modified division in the late model division here at Midvale Speedway. Norm Taylor, sponsors on that number 32, all the way from North.
39 of Bob Page, and the 19 is Gerald Altheiser.
Heat race number 3 for the open modifieds. Another good car count of open modifieds here. You would expect that everything would be good as long as guys didn't start tearing things down, because I think we're the only place racing.
This will be our 3rd open modified heat race of the evening.
Green flag in the air, Sean Lewis, Kyle Lawson.
Okay, leading lap number 1 is the 38 of Sean Lewis, number 2 position. And the number 6 of Kyle Lawson is in the 3rd position. That was lap number 4, 4 in, 4 to go in our 3rd modified heat race. 38 of Sean Lewis still in that number one position. Drops back to 3, and Kyle Lawson moves up to that number 2 position. White flag coming out this time, 1 lap to go. The 38 of Sean Lewis first. The 6 of Kyle Lawson and Bob Page in the 49 Lewis third. Coming through to take the checkered flag is the number 38 of Sean Lewis. Kyle Lawson second, Bob Page in that number 3 position. As he comes down to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big, big round of applause for car number 38, Mr. Sean Lewis. Go. The 49, Teddy Oliver. Nick Grubbs in the 24, the 51, Rick Elkins Jr. The 09, Phil Cox. The 46. The 46 is Emerson Huffman and Kevin McClintock in the 38.
Right. 64 of Ian Porco. Porco in the 64. And the 49 of Mr. One Arm himself, Teddy Oliver. Green flag in the air. Oh boy. Oliver and Grubbs get together on the front straightaway. Looks like everybody got sorted out here. Let's see what happened on that one.
Looks like their wheels had touched as they were coming down the front straightaway.
I think everybody looks okay. Oliver is down on the back straightaway. Grubbs trying to get turned around. We'll see if Terry Coletti says he thinks everything looks okay. The 09 of Phillip. Porco and Oliver contact again off of turn 4, and no start once again. Not sure what Teddy Oliver's doing. He was trying to crowd the 64 to the bottom of the racetrack. The 64 wasn't having it. Yeah, that was an two ugly looking starts for our crate mods. We'll see if the soon-to-be retired chief starter gets them in order down there on the flag stand. There we go. Jeez, we can call Terry Coletti a retiree now. That is so weird. I'm not ready for that, dude. I thought last year I was ready to retire, but then I realized I wasn't. Getting ready to go green. Ian Porco, and we're green.
Okay, Teddy Oliver holding on to that number 1 position. Now Ian Porco comes on the inside to take that number 1 position away from Teddy Oliver.
For some reason, Teddy Oliver driving like this is the last race of his career. Just no need for it. But guess what? The officials aren't making the call, so we'll let the 49 and 64 figure it out over on the back straightaway.
That's right, Chris, because this weekend we have the spinner-spinnee rule where they have to come up to turn 3, and whoever admits fault will go to the back. If they both do not admit fault, they both go to the back.
Yeah, and it puts it on them, right, Buddha? Bottom line is they have nobody to be mad at but themselves.
That's exactly right.
And they don't have to be mad at us anymore.
And look at it this way, you can pick on him because you're up here and he's down there.
Right, because he punched me if he didn't. Green flag is in the air. Teddy's known me long enough. He knows that I think he's a good race car driver, but it's just like everyone. You know, sometimes you have brain farts, and sometimes he has one. It's okay. Ian Porco out front, Philip Cox second, Kevin McClintock third. 3 laps complete, coming up on halfway home. Cream rise into the top, the 64, the 09, the 38, the 49, your front 4.
We'll be coming in on lap number 4 this time, lap number 4 to go. Ian Porco is our leader, 09 to Phil Cox, and Kevin McClintock in that number 3 position.
Still, see, you know why I call Teddy the one-arm bandit when he comes by? Look, his right hand is hanging from the roof bar. See it? Teddy Oliver drives one-handed.
White flag will be coming out this time. With 1 lap to go, Ian Porco, our leader, Phil Cox second, McClintock in that number 3 position.
Coming to the checkered flag, Ian Porco going to pick up the win. Philip Cox second, Kevin McClintock third, and the one-arm wonder Teddy Oliver finishes in the 4th spot.
As he comes down to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for car number 64, Ian Porco.
Uricksville, Ohio driver in the Trenton Services. DJs Well, D&B Machine, Tusco Billboards, and MHS Hardware, Ian Porco.
Okay, the number 0s, Todd Ripley, the 34, Conrad Yoder, Lee McQuarrie in the number 2, and J.D. Lawson in the number 6. The 007 is Don Rufner the 3rd.
So field to get the one to go signal from retiree chief starter Terry Coletti. Jonathan Smith down there looking like Will Smith, only with a hat on, and you're white, but that's okay. You can still be Will Smith if you want to be. DR3, Lucas Ripley, Conrad Yoder, Lee McCurry, green flag in the air. Sorry, Todd Ripley in the 0. Todd Ripley, the Hall of Famer, to the front. Hall of Famer Todd Ripley, your race leader. Don Rufner the third in second. Lee McCurry back behind the wheel, the number 2 tonight. Up into the third spot, looking for the outside of DR3.
Coming in on lap number 4, 4 in, 4 to go. Todd Ripley, still our leader. Don Ruckner, the second, is second, and Lee McCurry is third. White flags coming out this time. Look out, we got a spin on the front straightaway on a 007. Don Ruffner. Well, the 007 of Don Ruffner the third has one off the track. We got 6 laps completed with 2 to go.
Green flag back in the air, 2 laps to go.
Okay, white flag has come out. Todd Ripley is our leader. Lee McCurry in that number 2 position as they come around turn 3 and 4. Looks like it's going to be Todd Ripley, believe it or not, in the number 0. Lee McCreary second. J.D. Lawson third. As it comes down to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big, big round of applause for the number 0, Todd Ripley.
This is the Hall of Famer's first visit to Ohio Solar Connection Victory Lane since he became a Hall of Famer back in late July. Yorksville, Ohio, driving the LTR Industries, Y Tavern, Eddie Performance, TVU Graphics, and D&B Machine, sponsored number 0, Hall of Famer Todd Ripley.
Okay, the 08 is Chris Lett. The 99, Jason Gruhl. Brady Carter, 21. 8, Pat Gross. The 12, Jeff Kuykendall. The 67 is Bob Tate. The 24 is W is Jeremy Wiggins. The 35 is Kyle Grove. And the 58, Zach Koger.
Green flag in the air. Zach Koger on the inside and Chris Lett on the outside. Chris Lett out in front in the 08. Zach Koger in the second spot. Jason Gould third. Brady Cart in the fourth spot. Cart going to rise up the racetrack. And that moves Tad Grove to the bottom. Tad Grove, your 2023 champion, to fourth.
Chris Lett is our leader. Third, and Tad Grove, the number 8, is in that number 4 position. They'll be coming in on lap number 4 this time. Lap number 4, 4 in and 4 to go. With our first street stock heat race of the evening.
Chris Lett, your race leader. The Red Rocket runs in the second spot. Those two have pulled away from Jason Gould, John Ambrose, and the 8 of Tad Grove as they battle for that third spot. Final lap, final time around. Buddha, they're coming to the checker. Chris Lett in front.
As they're coming around turn number 4, it's going to be Chris Lett is our winner. Jack Koger second, Jason Gould is third, and Jeremy Wiggins is fourth. Coming down victory lane, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a big, big round of applause for the 08 of Chris Lett. Harry Hoopengardner, the 19, Scott Lindo, Jolly Jumpin' John Ambrose in the 24, the 00 in the Grocery Grabbers, Vinny Tantarelli, the 88, Dave Meyer, 73, TJ Dreyer, and the 09, Cole Eckinger.
So Dave Meyer, TJ Dreyer are going to bring the field in. Street stock heat race number 3. Chief starter Terry Coletti, green flag in hand, and we're underway. Nope, we're not going to be. Oh boy, Luke Porco and Ambrose get together off of turn number 4 on a failed start. John Ambrose going to head pit side, and Porco, when he got into the throttle, and Dreyer and Ambrose just came together. Actually, Lindell Scott Lindell got into the 64 of Porco, which turned him into the 24 of Ambrose. So yeah, nothing that really Luke Porco or Ambrose could do about that one. Just a little chain reaction deal as they'll bring out the Akron Coach tow vehicle. Again, thank you to Akron Coach Towing.
Leading the first lap is the 88 car of Dave Myers. The 09 of Cole Eckenberg looking on the inside.
Magic Shoes, Gary Hoopagarner in the third spot. The 19 of Scott Lindell running fourth. The 00 of Vinny Tannerelli in the grocery grabber. Oh, Hoopagarner sideways up on the high lane of the racetrack. And the 73 of Dreyer. Vinny Tannerelli to the outside of Scott Lindell. Gets a little bit of contact, almost spins out. Man, there's action all over the place in this one.
I'll tell you, they're fighting tooth and nail for each position guy out there. They're coming in on lap number 4 this time. Those are 4 to go. We're halfway home. Dave Myers still on the leader. Cole Eckenberg second, and Gary Hoopagarner in that number 3 position.
They're acting like this is the last race of the season or something. Magic Shoes gets into Vinny Tannerelli, and they both get into the wall.
Well, the grocery grabber and the 00, Vinny Tannerelli goes spinny Rooney.
So Gary Hoopagarner got loose. He was on the outside of the 19 of Scott Lindell. Got loose and got in, trying to correct it, and got into the 00 of Vinny Tannerelli. So after looking at the replay, it looks like Gary Hoopagarner just got up high. He's got the salt and pepper hair just like you, little hands.
Yeah, that's little
Looks
hands
just like
twin
me.
down there.
Green flag back in the air.
Okay, now the 19 coming on the inside, Scott Lindell to take that number 1 position away from Dave Myers. Dave Myers getting a little swirly. White flags out this time, 1 lap to go. Scott Lindell, Dave Myers, and Cole Eckenberg, the top 1, 2, 3.
Final time into turn number 3. Scott Lindell made the pass to the front two. He'll win heat race number 3 of the Street Stocks. Dave Meyer going to hang on and finish second. Good job by the youngster, Cole Eckinger, and the 73 of T.J. Dreyer, rounding out the top 4.
As he comes down to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for car number 19, Mr. Scott Lindell.
Sponsors on the number 19 is Scott Lindell, all the way from Kimbolton, Ohio. Cosmos Auto Repair and Graphics, M&G Automotive, Ours First Motor Sales, and Tony's Corner Cafe. Still can't get over that it's November 4th and we're at a racetrack, and it's actually pretty comfortable outside. Was just out there, and man, it's a pretty nice night out there, Buddha.
It's not bad for the beginning of November. I remember going back when I was a youngster, trick-or-treating in goulashes with snow up to my knees.
Yeah, I've trick-or-treated in snow before as well, and drove in snow the other day.
Okay, now we've got the Outlaw Compact Division here coming out. The 69 is Nate Smart. The 337, or the number 3 of Doug Summers. 68, Corbin Robinson. The 10, Jake Albright. The 007, Don Ruffner III. The 3, Clayton Oliver. And the 21, Josh Robinson.
Hopefully he likes the races down there. The James gang down there. Like to see you. Thank you guys for being here. I'll come down and talk to you in a few minutes, all right? Green flag in the air for Outlaw Compacts. Smart up the racetrack, and now Summers takes the race lead in the 87. And here comes Turtle. Turtle Albright in the 10, going to try and get to the outside and quickly go by the 69 of Nate Smart. Clayton Oliver in the 3 trying to move up, as well as the 68 of Robinson. Turtle going to take over that second spot.
Okay, Jake Albright at number 10 takes the lead. Clayton Oliver in the number 3 goes into that number 2 position, and Doug Summers goes back to the number 3 position.
Clayton Oliver trying to run down the Turtle. And the 68 of Corbin Robinson trying to get around Doug Summers in the 87. Going to move Corbin Robinson up to the 3rd spot. Clayton Oliver starting to catch Turtle just a little bit.
To that number 3 position. White flag will be coming out this time. Clayton Oliver looking on the inside of the number 10 of Jake Albright. Will he be able to have enough time to come around turns 3 and 4 to get that checkered flag? Here they come down the front straightaway. It is going to be Clayton Oliver, Jake Albright, Corbin Robinson.
What a nice race. Clayton Oliver making the last lap pass of Turtle. All right, so
as he comes down to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big, big round of applause for car number 3, Mr. Clayton Oliver.
all right, Buddha. I've got our friend down here. And Steve, who's this?
Well, his name is Mo. We call him Slow Mo.
Slow Mo. Does Slow Mo like the races?
Well, I have anxiety issues.
Okay. Well, do you like the races?
Fast cars make me scared.
That's okay, little buddy. Can I pet you? All right.
A little behind the ears, please.
A little behind the ears. There you go, buddy. Steve, thanks for coming, man. The James Gang, talk to us about what you guys do.
Well, we're a troupe of about 5, 6 different puppets, Jerry and the rest of the James Gang, and we like to do birthday video greetings and show up whenever anyone asks us to come and do something for them.
Where can we find you, or where can the people find you if they want to look you up?
On Facebook, they can just look up Jerry and the James Gang.
Jerry and the James Gang. Well, buddy, you take care, all right? Slow-mo?
Thank you.
All right. Have fun. Yes, have fun, buddy. See you, Steve. Thank you.
Okay, car number 92 is Chris Nicastro. The 04 is Sheldon Lindlag. Rich Dunlap in the 36. The 47, Don Refner Jr. The 3L, Justice Lenars. And Clayton Quarles in the number 10. Caution out on the track. Okay, Don Refner Jr. in that number 1 position. Now the 3L coming on the inside. Justin Lenars looks to take that number 2 position and move the 04 Shelton Lindlag back to that number 3 position. This time we'll be coming in on lap number 6. Lap number 6. Don Refner Jr. still our leader. Justice Lenars is in that number 2 position. White flag will be coming out this time.
Your winner from Uricksville, Ohio. Put your hands together for Don Rufner Jr. Rufner Racing, Animal Racing, sponsored number 4.
The 33 times 3 is Mike Stuber. 42T is Brady McLean. 29T is Trenton Crofton. Excuse me, Shaw's in the 42T. 00T is Blake Ripley. 443 Eddie McLean. 99T Bob Johnson. 442 is Connor McLean. And rounding out the field in 06, Chris Hines. All right, next time around, we're going green flag, folks.
Actually, Justin Bryson is in the 06 mini truck. I just got a text message. Justin Bryson in the 06. Green flag, and they're already 3 wide. Look at Jason Shaw, 3 wide on the inside. He's going to take over the second spot. Nope, not going to happen. Trenton Croft up to the second spot. Mike Stuber, your race leader in the 33 times 3.
And Blake Ripley and Bob Johnson coming up through the field. Blake Ripley looking to the inside of the 42 to take that 3rd position. Bob Johnson to follow in the 99 truck. Blake Ripley looking to take the 2nd place lead, and he has. Now he looks his eyes on the 33 truck of Mike Stuber.
Blake Ripley, a nice run up through the field. He got by Trenton Croft. The Croft trying to battle back on the inside. Blake Ripley up to 2nd. About the 99 of Bob Johnson. The 42 of Jason Shaw. And out back, your McLean father and son duo. One of them is the champion this year, the 442, Connor McLean. Justin Bryson in the 06 goes a lap down to the field. And here comes Bob Johnson, trying to take over that 3rd spot. He's going to do it. He's going to try to get to the inside of Ripley for 2nd. Stuber hanging on out front, but here comes Blake Ripley on the high side hands.
He's coming, Chris. He's coming. He had trapped his fast. Bob Johnson's right there, too. Stuber's got his hands full as they come up on a lap truck.
Randy Vermillion goes a lap down. Blake Ripley trying to hang on that outside lane to get around Mike Stuber. Ripley, Stuber, Johnson, Trenton Croft, and here comes the champion Connor McLean. White flag in the air from Will Smith. Oh, no, sorry, that's Jonathan Smith.
Ripley takes the lead as they go into 3 and 4, but Mike Stuber battling back. Who's going to win it, folks? It looks like it's Ripley in the 00 truck. Mike Stuber 2nd, Bob Johnson 3rd, Connor McLean 4th, and Eddie McLean 5th. Everyone give a round of applause as your 00 truck comes into victory lane. Blake Ripley.
Summerdale, Ohio driver in the new Image Auto Sales. Sponsored 00, Blake Ripley. Go buy a car off of him. He's a good dude.
Okay, we got 8 cars coming out in the, this is our late model pursuit race.
So again, taking a look at that Mid-Vid Racing video in-car camera. Bob Snyder Jr. comes across the start-finish line carrying the Mid-Vid in-car. It's actually on the roof of the car, and it is an awesome view. He's looking up front at pole sitter Neil Rowley. He will start up front in the single-file Australian pursuit. Bob Snyder Jr., 3-time champion, finished 3rd in the points this season. Denison, Ohio driver will be starting in that 2nd spot right behind the 999. And make sure you check out that view. It's always a special view. The in-car camera for Mid-Vid Racing Video. Stop up now.
Okay, we got Neil Rowley in the 999, the 17 Bob Schneider. The 12 is Alex Stavars. Tim Allensworth in the 2070s Bob Page. The 167 Lucas Ripley. The 83 is R.J. White. The 65 is El Presidente. Jimmy Carter. White flags out. And getting underway with our Australian late model pursuit.
Once again, if you are passed, you are out. 8 laps. If you are passed, you are out. See if R.J. White can start 8th and get all the way up there. Green flag getting ready to come out. Green's in the air. 8-lap Australian pursuit. My goodness, Neil Rowley almost parked it on the front straightaway. So the 65 of Jimmy Carter is passed. Jimmy Carter passed. He will be sent pit side. R.J. White up. Here comes the 21 of Tim Allensworth, looking to the inside of Alex Stavar. There he goes. Stavar is out. The 21 of Allensworth up to the 3rd spot. Alex Stavar will head pit side, and Bob Snyder Jr. trying to get around Neil Rowley. Coming in on halfway, Neil Rowley still up front.
Neil Rowley still holding on to that number 1 position. Bob Schneider in at number 2.
The 70 of Bob Page trying to get underneath Tim Allensworth. He is there, still battling for that 3rd spot. Allensworth trying to hang on. Allensworth still there. He's not passed yet. Still underway. Bob Snyder Jr. to the inside of Neil Rowley. Can Rowley hang on? Contact. Neil Rowley fighting it up the racetrack. Caution on the speedway.
I'll say that was a good save, Chris. Neither one of them hit the wall.
Absolutely incredible save by Neil Rowley. Bob Snyder Jr. just tapped his roof, saying totally his fault. So Bob Snyder Jr. taps the roof. But Neil Rowley, man, what a save. Buddha, he stayed in the throttle the entire time until it whipped around, and when he let off the throttle, that saved that race car from hitting the wall.
It did. You know, he didn't kiss the wall on that one, I'll tell you what. He did a great job of driving that car. Okay, white flags coming up back out on the track. So we've got 5 laps in with 3 to go.
So 5 laps in, 3 to go. Neil Rowley hanging on. Bob Snyder Jr. disqualified. He is out. Green flag in the air. We'll see who's going to win this one. Tim Allensworth now on the back bumper of the 999 of Rowley, and here comes Bob Page again to the inside of Allensworth. Good Australian pursuit here for the late models. Can't wait to see what this feature is going to be tomorrow. Neil Rowley trying to hang on. Buddha, I think we're in store for a really good feature tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, I'm looking forward tomorrow for features. It's going to be some good driving by these guys.
Bob Page trying to get around Tim Allensworth. Neil Rowley hanging on. Final lap. Here comes Page to the inside of Rowley. Got into him a little bit. Got back out of it. Here comes Allensworth to the outside. Rowley spins into the dirt. Allensworth checkered flag at the line.
Okay, coming down to victory lane, car number 21, Mr. Tim Allensworth is our Australian Pursuit winner.
Tim Allensworth in the 21. Man, what a, wow. Page got into Neil Rowley just a little bit on the back straightaway. Rowley saved it and then lost it again on the bottom of Allensworth. Tim Allensworth all the way from Blandsboro, North Carolina, goes into victory lane at Midvale Speedway for the 2023 Fall Classic. We appreciate Tim for being here, longtime racer and competitor here back in the day. And we appreciate Tim Allensworth being here and running double duty at Midvale Speedway. Man, this late model feature tomorrow is going to be a good one, and we haven't even seen Brandon Short or Jonathan Ritter on the racetrack after qualifying tonight.
No, some of the great ones did not run the Australian Pursuit, and in the 36, we just told it's Andrew Bethers.
So Andrew Bethard's in this 36 as he's going to get around Chris Nicastro. Nicastro still trying to hang on. Here comes Don Rooster Jr. Here comes Corbin Robinson. Corbin Robinson up the middle. The 92 is out. The 47 is out. And he's trying to get around the 36, and the 36 is out. The 36 of Andrew Bethard's eliminated. The 92 of Nicastro is out. And you've got Turtle trying to get around the 68 of Corbin Robinson.
Looking on the inside is that car number 10, Jake Albright, looking to take that number 1 position.
And Corbin Robinson hanging on by a bumper. Now he's eliminated. So Jake Turtle Albright eliminates Corbin Robinson. The 007 of DR3 is about a quarter lap down behind Jake Turtle Albright. So Turtle hanging on to the race lead. White flag in the air for the Turtle. And off turn number 4, your winner, Jake Albright of the Australian Pursuit in the compacts. The 007 of DR3 finishes second. So pulling to the line in the TRG, sponsored number 10 machine. Put your hands together for Dover's Turtle Albright.
Okay, now coming out on the raceway is right here, Legend Pursuit. The 76.
Matt Kelly, Chuck Witt, Daniel Hall, Nick Galata, and Greg Rudzik. Green flag in the air. Chuck Witt going to try and get to the inside of Kelly. Matt Kelly hanging on the outside. He's eliminated. Chuck Witt, new race leader. Now the number 9 of Dan Hall trying to work on Chuck Witt in the 43.
Dan Hall's looking on the outside of Chuck Witt. Now Dan Hall on the inside of Chuck Witt. Will he be able to take and eliminate him? They go around turns 1 and 2. Dan Halls looks like he's going to eliminate Chuck Witt. Chuck Witt is now out. Nick
43
Galuda
is
up into
out.
that number 2 position.
Sorry, Buddha. 43 is out. You are correct. Nick Galata up to that second spot. Dan Hall, your race leader. White flag coming out this time, Booty.
White flag's coming out. Dan Hall is our leader. Will Nick Galuda have enough to get Dan Hall? 1 lap to go in our Rad Air Pursuit with our Legend Division. And it looks like it could be and might be and will be the number 9 of Mr. Dan Hall.
Nick Galata and Greg Rudzik were your top 3.
Okay, as he comes down the victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big, big round of applause for car number 9, Mr. Dan Hall.
Hartville, Ohio driver racing out of his wallet. And that number 9 picking up a checkered flag here on Fall Classic Weekend Australian Pursuit for the Legends. They'll be back in a little bit for their feature coming up just a little bit later. Dan Hall, Victory Lane, Ohio Solar Connection victory.
Okay, coming out on the track now is our open modified pursuits. Okay, the 82 is Bob Sibla Jr. The 12 is Bubba Smith. The 21, Tim Allensworth. The 57, Brady Sweeney. The 18, Kenny Feaster Jr. The 0 is the Ripleys, believe it or not, Lucas Ripley. And the 10 is Nathan Embry. And Rick Elkins brings up the rear in the 51. We have 8 cars out there. That's going to be 8 laps.
Little preview of what tomorrow's feature race might be like. The Open Mods always put on a great show here at Midvale Speedway. You are not going to want to miss the features tomorrow afternoon. Racing starts a little after 1. Pit gates open at 10 a.m. No race cars will fire until noon tomorrow. We will have a quick 5-lap warm-up session, a 5-lap scuff session, and then we'll start racing a little after 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Make sure you tell your friends, talk about it on Facebook. Make sure you get them here tomorrow for the final event, 2023. Australian Pursuit for the Open Mods, getting ready to go. Green, the Bullet on the pole. Green flag in the air, Bubba Smith in second.
Okay, Bob Sibla Jr. still is our leader. Bubba Smith second. Tim Allensworth is third.
Kenny Feaster Jr. was eliminated and got into the outside wall off of turn number 4. So Kenny Feaster Jr. eliminated, took a nice shot to the wall there off of turn 4.
Bubba Smith right on the bumper of Bob Sibla Jr. Bob Sibla Jr. trying to hold on to that number 1 position. But coming on the inside, it's going to be Bubba Smith. And Bob Stifler Jr. now is eliminated.
Halfway home, Bubba Smith, your race leader. Tim Allensworth second. Braden Swaney in third, but he's under fire from Lucas Ripley. The big dog looks to the outside of the 57 into turn number 3. Nathan Embry just behind. Rick Elkins Jr. as well.
Bubba Smith still our leader. Tim Allensworth second.
Ripley trying to get around Swaney. Embry needs somebody to move. Trying to move around the outside, Lucas Ripley. White flag in the air. Doesn't matter now. Nobody can be eliminated on that final lap, Buddha.
Nobody, and here we go. Coming around turns 3 and 4, it's going to be the 12 of Bubba Smith. Tim Allensworth second, and Lucas Ripley third.
Man, this guy gets around Midvale Speedway pretty good, doesn't he? You know, three-time champion, right? In the late model division. He gets around here well.
That's right. Bubba Smith knows this track very, very well. And ladies and gentlemen, as he comes down to victory lane, let's have a big, big round of applause for car number 12, Mr. Bubba Smith.
Canton Auto Salvage, Smith's Auto Sales, sponsors on the number 12 from North Canton, Ohio. Beautiful looking ride. Moved into the modified division a couple of years ago. Bubba Smith, 3-time late model champion at Midvale Speedway. He's done everything around here, but no, actually he has cleaned the toilets. I've seen him do that. So he's done about every job at Midvale Speedway there is to do, him and his brother Bryant.
Okay, we got 5 cars in this race, and there'll be 5 laps for our Creighton Motor Modifieds. Okay, green flag's up.
And Teddy Oliver into Ian Porco. They had their dust up in the heat race.
Caution back on the track. We're going to do one complete restart here, ladies and gentlemen.
So, complete restart. We'll see if Teddy can stay away from the 64 on the restart. Green flag back in the air, and Oliver sideways off of turn 4. He's not close enough to punt Porco this time.
No,
underneath, here comes Phil Cox.
It looks like Phil Cox might be passing. Yeah. Oliver's held on and kept his position there.
We spoke too soon. J.D. Lawson still out front. Ian Porco second. Teddy Oliver third.
Okay, we got caution back out on the track once again. Caution on the track.
Yeah, the 6 of J.D. Lawson tried to throw the block on the 64 of Ian Porco, and he tried to throw it a little late and got him into the infield. And J.D. Lawson, you just can't block a guy that low on the back straightaway. I mean, my goodness. Sometimes, Buddha, you know, being a little bit courtesy, having a little bit of courtesy goes a long way.
It sure does. But a lot of them do not want to give no courtesy call.
No, I know, but you know what? You're in expensive race cars, and I understand you want to win races, but you can't shove a guy down into the infield off of turn number 2. You just can't do it. So
No, you can't.
I'm not sure.
Okay, we got 2 laps in with 3 cars left.
49 of Teddy Oliver, the 09 of Phil Cox, the 38 of McClintock, green. Teddy Oliver out front in the 49, Phil Cox in second, then the 38 of McClintock. Terry Coletti, white flag in the air, 1 lap to go.
Okay, as they come around turns 3 and 4, it's going to be the 49, Teddy Oliver, Phil Cox second, and Kevin McClintock in the 38 is third. As he comes down the victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big, big round of applause for car number 49, Mr. Teddy Oliver.
The one-hand wonder from Canton, Ohio, and the Gutter Masters, Oliver's Garage, G&H Construction, Anything Goes Hauling, sponsor number 49, Teddy Oliver.
Zeros, Vinny Tanarelli in the grocery grabber. The 58, Zach Koger. The 8 is Chris Ledette. The 99, Jason Gruhl. The 21, Brady Cart. The 8 of Tad Grove. The 12, Jeff Kuykendall. Bob Page is in the 67. And the 24W is Jeremy Wiggins. Okay, white flag's coming out. We're going to go 10 laps. We have 10 cars in our street stock pursuit.
Green flag in the air, Wiggins, Tanarelli, and the Red Rocket. Caution on the speedway. Caution on the speedway.
Caution, caution's out. We're going to line them up and do it again. Is Jolly Jumpin' John Ambrose in that 24.
58 is Zach Koger has been eliminated.
Jelly Jumping John Ambrose, our leader, Vinny Tannerelli in the grocery grabber second. Chris Lynette in the 08 is in that number 3 position. The 12 of Jeff Kuykendall has been eliminated.
Yeah, really surprised that Lett hasn't been able to go up and do anything with Tannerelli. And Tannerelli all over the back of Ambrose. 99 of Gruel right there. Everybody's single filed out right now, halfway home, 5 in, 5 to go.
This is turning into be a great pursuit race, Chris, especially with the speed stock here.
Oh man, I love pursuit races, and this just sets you up for tomorrow. We are going to have a whale of a show tomorrow afternoon. Here comes Vinny Tannerelli to the inside of John Ambrose. Tannerelli trying to eliminate Ambrose up front. Chris Lett right behind, looking on, waiting on Ambrose. Still fighting in the outside lane, and Ambrose is out.
Vinny Tannerelli in the 00 in the grocery grabber goes up to that number 1 position. The 08 of Chris Lett is second. Be coming in on lap number 8 this time, lap number 8. White flag will be coming out this time. Vinny Tannerelli is our leader. Chris Lett second, and Jason Gruel in the 99 is third.
Off turn number 4, Chris Lett, another shot. He won't get there. Your winner, Vinny Tannerelli.
Great pursuit race, Chris. This was one of the best so far tonight.
I agree.
Okay, as he comes down to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for the 00 in the grocery grabber, Vinny Tannerelli.
Yerricksville, Ohio driver in the Lutz Body and Paint. Sutton Pump and Supply, Bonifay Built, Impulsive Inc. is Shaw Welding and Fabrication, sponsor 00.
Route 45, Timmy Kalp, Rich Dunlap in the 36, and the Sizzler himself, Blaze Bacon in the 57. Green flags out. We're underway with our compact division.
Josh Hoff trying to get rid of the 72 of Mike Stuber. Up the racetrack, the 72 is passed and eliminated. 36 is out. That is Rich Dunlap in the 36. 72 of Stuber still out there. He has been eliminated, I believe. My bad, the 72 is on the outside of the 9 of Gavin Root, trying to keep from getting past. 45 of Timmy Krabs is out. Timmy Kalp. The Sizzler trying to make his way up through there. Nobody moving in front of him, and now here comes Stuber back on the outside of the 427 of Huff.
Nate Smart still our leader. Candy Stuber second. Cameron Walker third.
Cameron Walker up the racetrack. Going to open up the bottom. Here comes Josh Huff. Going to stick his nose in there and try to eliminate Walker. Walker way up the racetrack. And Stuber on the verge of getting eliminated again by the 9 of Gavin Roop. And this time he does. The 72 of Stuber is out. 57 of Blaze Bacon to the outside of the 9 of Gavin Roop now. Nate Smart still hanging on out front. Tabby Stuber right in his tire tracks.
White flag will be coming out this time with 1 lap to go. Nate Smart still our leader. Tabby Stuber, Josh Huff, your top 1, 2, 3. White flag is out.
Nate Smart, Tabby Stuber, Josh Huff. Huff going to cross back over. Not sure what the deal was there, but he cut off Gavin Roop going into turn number 1. Gavin Roop eliminated by the 57, but it's the last lap. Nobody gets eliminated on the last lap. Checker flag, oh my. Huff and Sizzler into the wall. And the winner is going to be the 69 of Nate Smart, and the 5 of Tabby Stuber finishes second. Not sure what happened between Josh Huff and Blaze Bacon.
Nate Smart.
Since he fired me last week, he's not smart. That's what I will say. He's Nate, but he's not smart. In the Bucky Snowing and Removal sponsored 69. Oh, that was Dan Bucky in the car. Oh, okay. Well, we didn't know that. All right, Dan Bucky ends up winning the pursuit race. So getting ready to go. Green Ross Mountain Barbecue Mini Truck Pursuit Race is on. Mike Stuber, Jason Shaw, and here comes the 29 of Trenton Croft. Trenton Croft to the outside, the 42 is eliminated. He goes to the infield. The 00 of Lucas Ripley, or I'm sorry, yeah, Lucas Ripley. Blake Ripley. It's all right, they're still related.
There's a bunch of Ripleys, believe it or not, around here.
There is, they're all related, it's okay. Blake Ripley trying to reel in Trenton Croft while Mike Stuber continues to hug that inside line in the 33 times 3 with the race lead.
Mike Stuber in that 33 times 3. Is it my imagination, or has he got nitrous going? That truck is going, I've never seen it run this fast.
Yeah, right? They had about 2 months to work on it, and this thing is really rolling good now. Look, any one of these trucks can win that feature tomorrow. This division has continued to grow the second half of the year, and I'm telling you what, this division is finally starting to do what we had hoped it did 5 years ago. It's finally starting to take off a little bit.
I'll tell you what, and you got to admit, Chris, we've got a lot more trucks towards the end of the year than we had at the beginning.
And that's what I mean. They've really begun to, take off and show up to the racetrack week in and week out. And look, you've got 2, 4, 6 trucks out there that can win this feature tomorrow. And the 42 just went out. He's another one that can win tomorrow. And it just goes to show, if you build one, man,
you build one, they will come.
Yeah, you build one, they will come.
The 33 times 3, Mike Stuber, out is our leader. As he comes around turns 3 and 4, the checker flag will be waving, and it looks like it's going to be Mike Stuber coming across to the checker flag. The 29 of Trenton Croft is second, Blake Ripley third, and Eddie McLean in the 443 is fourth. As he comes down to victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, have a big, big round of applause for the 33 times 3, Mike Stuber.
Benchmark construction on the 33 times 3. Mike Stuber from Bowerston, Ohio in victory lane. And it's going to be track or treat. So Chris Farrell, Ryan Likens, your front two up there. The number 3 machine of Allison LaRocco. Green flag in the air from Jonathan Smith on the flag stand, and away we go. Again, a light car count this weekend for the Bandoleros. They have a big race, I believe, down at Charlotte. The crossover move from Ryan Likens to take over the race lead. And Buddha, I think if we would have raced this on the regularly scheduled date back in October, we would have had quite a few bandos here. But, you know, sometimes the schedule doesn't always work out. But you know what? These 3 cars showed up tonight, and we appreciate them being here.
Absolutely, absolutely. We would have probably had 8, 7, 8, 9 cars, but, you know, the weather has a lot to do with it and what goes on. And they're going to put a show on here for everybody. Flying Ryan Likens is definitely flying. Flying Ryan Likens is definitely out front, and he is flying. Chris Farrell second. Allison LaRocco bringing up the back end in the 3rd position.
Yeah, and remember Allison LaRocco, her first ever time in a race car here at Midvale Speedway. Believe anywhere, but here at Midvale Speedway for sure. She's doing a great job out there, getting used to things, learning. That's what it's all about. You have to learn. These are just young kids. And Ryan Likens going to find his way around Allison. She's getting better and better every time she's on the racetrack, doing a great job out there. And at number 3, Ryan Likens, man, every time that kid shows up to this racetrack, he is tough to beat in that number 14, isn't he?
He sure is, because this kid knows how to wheel one of those Bandoleros. And I'll tell you what, his dad, Tim Likens, is a great, great mechanic on these things. You know, you got to give Allison LaRocco credit. Her first time, Chris, in a car, and she's really had no seat time or practice time. And actually, these races right here are her practice time.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. She's doing a good job at just getting to learn things. And, you know, look, you have to learn somewhere. Everybody has to learn somewhere. And I'll bet you she's out there having a ball right now. And she'll get better and better each and every race. Maybe she gets even better and faster tomorrow. It's Chris Farrell, another one of those youngsters doing a great job. Man, when he started out his season here at Midvale Speedway, he was running slow like the 3 was, getting to learn things.
Absolutely.
And now he is up in the pack and battling with the leaders and running in 2nd place. But in this event, you know what? Chris Farrell doing a much, much better job and has continued to grow throughout the season. Ryan Likens, 2 laps to go for the 14.
Well, Ryan Likens, he has just finally lapped the field on lap number 10. White flag will be coming out this time. As he comes around turns 3 and 4, it's going to be car number 14, Ryan Likens. Chris Farrell second, and Allison LaRocco third. As he comes down the victory lane, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big, big round of applause for our Rad Air Bandolero feature winner, car number 14, Flying Ryan Likens.
Custom Graphics and Family Tradition Racing sponsored number 14. Also nice to see that in memory of Jessica Crumrine sticker on there, and also in memory of John Crumrine. Stickers on this number 14, always remembering the Crumrine family. Getting ready to climb out all the way from Dayton, Ohio. Here's your winner, Flying Ryan Likens. Man, great job. This thing was on a rail. I know we didn't have a huge car count, but you know what? Great job, Ryan.
Thank you.
Man, nice job. Talk to me about this thing. You guys had motor problems early on. Thought you might not even get to race tonight. Crew did a great job of fixing it.
Yeah, we had some spark plug problems. We flooded the carburetor and it messed up the spark plug, so we missed a practice session and the transponder wasn't working, so we didn't really get any good qualifying or practice, so we had to start in the back.
So that's okay. You come back and try and do it again tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah.
Who you want to thank on this 14, man?
10 City Performance, Family Tradition Racing, Lewis Tools for the nice modified ride last night. It was very fun.
Oh, absolutely. You look good in that car too, by the way. You can find that on Facebook.
Yeah. My dad and my stepmom Lisa, she's pregnant. It's a girl.
There you go. It's a girl. That's good.
And Ryan Billy.
All right. So is it about time to get a mod for you then?
Yeah, we've been talking about it. We're looking at Facebook Marketplace, and there's some good ones out there.
All right. So you're trying to get Dad to get you one. He said, what do you got to do first?
Straight A's. Straight A's, yeah.
Straight A's. And what? And we got to sell this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, straight A's. We got to sell the bando, and you get a modified. I like those. I like those odds. You're probably a straight A student anyway, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, there you go. Flying Ryan Likens getting ready to move up to the modifieds. Hopefully next year. Give him a round of applause. He's your bando feature winner.
Chuck Witt. The 9 is Daniel Hall. The 77 is Nick Galata. The 17, Greg Rudzik. And the number 5 is Ron Harvey. We will be going 20 laps around Midvale Speedway.
Getting ready to go green. Rad Air Rad Air Legends on the racetrack. My goodness. Green flag is in the air. Matt Kelly and Chuck Witt.
I almost said the same thing, Chris. The Rad Air Band.
Oh,
Okay,
boy,
we got,
problems.
look out. Got a hood up on the car. He's going off.
Tough break for, who is that? Rutzik? Yeah. No, that was Harvey. Yeah, tough break for Ron Harvey in the 5 car. As he goes pit side, he is through the pits. Tough break for Harvey there with the hood coming up.
Okay, now we got a new leader. Daniel Hall is out in that number 1 position. Nick Galata second, and Greg Redzik in that number 3 position. Nick Galata's looking on the inside of Daniel Hall, and now they're still side by side.
Good battle up front, good racing in this Rad Air Legend feature. Dan Hall trying to hang on. Nick Galata trying to take the race lead, and Rudzik right there in the third spot. Good three-way battle for the race lead.
Now Nick Galata all out in front in that number 1 position. Greg Rudzik with that number 17 now goes for second. Daniel Hall back to third.
Rudzik looking all over the back of that 77 of Nick Galata. Dan Hall dropping back into that third spot. We've got the 43 of Chuck Witt, the 76 of Kelly still out there.
This time around, we're going to be coming in on lap number 10. Lap number 10, 10 in, 10 to go in our Rad Air Legend feature. Nick Galata trying to hold off Greg Rudzik for that number 1 position, but Greg Rudzik is right on his bumper.
Really good race by the top 3 in the Rad Air Legends. 4 laps to go. Then we've got our compact buy-in feature coming up after this one. 9 laps to go, 8 this time, 8 laps to go, 8 to go. That would be 8. 8 laps to go, Chris Gale, 8.
Okay, Chris, I guarantee I can give you the benefit of the doubt. It's cold outside.
Thank you. As Rudzik takes the race lead from Nick Galata. And Greg Rudzik, your race leader in the 17 with 6 laps to go this time.
We got 14 in, 6 to go. Right here. Legend feature, Greg Rudzik, our leader. Nick Galata second, Daniel Hall in at number 3.
Nick Galata still right there with that 17. Dan Hall right there in the 9. But Greg Rudzik, a good race car up front, coming in on 2.5 laps to go.
This is going to be lap number 18. Lap number 18, we have 2 to go. White flag will be coming out next time around. Okay, as they come around turns 3 and 4, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be car number 17, Greg Rudzik. Nick Galata second, Daniel Hall third, Chuck Witt is 4th, Matt Kelly 5th, and Ron Harvey in the number 5. Did not even make the race. He gets the number 6 position.
All right, compact buy-in feature lining up over pit side. I see him over there. Greg Rudzik. First feature win at Midvale Speedway in the Legends. Beautiful. Maroon number 17, black trim, climbing out, your Rad Air legend, feature winner at the Fall Classic, day number 1. Put your hands together for Greg Rudzig.
That car's fast, man.
Getting the helmet undone and the Hans device put away. We'll talk with Greg here in just a minute. He's got the nice Fall Classic feature trophy sitting here ready to go. Greg, man, I believe this is your first trip to Midvale, and you park it in Victory Lane, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Came out here yesterday. It's the first time I've ever seen this track. It's a beautiful facility, you know, and I had a real good battle with the 77 there. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to get him or not. I opened the door a little bit, and I was able to tuck in. It was a great race, great drive by him. It was a nice, clean race.
Yeah, absolutely it was, man. This is a beautiful race car. Thank you so much for coming to Midvale Speedway tonight. Who you want to thank on the 17 tonight?
I mean, it's unsponsored, so if anyone...
Go, absolutely.
But my dad, who's out in the stands, and mom, girlfriend, that's about it.
Congratulations, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll try for 2 in a row, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Greg Rudzig, your winner of your Rad Air Legend feature number 1 here on Fall Classic Weekend. Cars 15-lap feature for the compact buy-in race.
That's a pretty good purse there, Chris, for
You ain't a kidding.
just a buy-in, you know?
You ain't a kidding. I'm surprised they didn't get more than 10 cars, honestly.
You know, I'll bet you 10 to 1. Some of them did want to get tore up to the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but you know what? That's a pretty good purse to give it a shot.
Okay, the 68, Corbin Robinson. The 57, the Sizzler himself, Blaze Bacon. 9, Gavin Root. 19, A.J. Andrews. The number 9, Jimbo Root. The 42, Damon Andrews, Justin Lenars in the 3L. The 427, Josh Huff. The 36, Richie Dunlap. 37, Jake.
So A.J. Andrews in the dark blue 42. Not sure who's in his old car in the light 42. Might be A.J.
Okay, white flags out. 15-lap feature in our buy-in compact race.
So your compact buy-in, $520 on the line, 15-lap feature. We're green. Corbin Robinson, the Sizzler, Blaze Bacon on the front row. They had a pill draw for starting positions, and this is what we got. You got Gavin Roop in the number 9, Damian Andrews in the 42, Jimbo Roop in the red 9. 1 lap complete. It's the 68 in the Mean Bean. The Mean Bean, your champion in the compact division this year. That's 68, first ever championship.
That number 9, Chris, had a good save coming out of number 2. I guess we're going caution on the track.
He had the 36 at Dunwood. He got spun over in turn number 2, and it looks like we'll have to see the replay here to see who the So that was the choose cone, the 3L of just. complete. 1 in 14 to go. Green flag back in the air. Blaze Bacon going to move up to that second spot. Move Gavin Roop to third, and the Lenars machine of the 3L will drop back into fourth.
This is where Blaze Bacon right on the tail of Corbin Root. It's Corbin Root. Now we got a caution on the track for car number 37, Jake Keller. Okay, you got Corbin Robinson is your leader. Blaze Bacon on the inside. The 9, Gavin Roop on the outside. Followed by the 3L.
All right, field lined up, ready to go behind race leader Corbin Robinson. 2 laps complete. So field moving towards turn number 3. Gavin Roop, Blaze Bacon behind race leader, the Mean Bean. Getting ready to go green. Green flag in the air. Good restart that
time. Nice up front by Corbin Robinson and the number 9, Gavin Roop.
Yeah, Gavin got a really good restart there. He was side by side with the 57 of Blaze Bacon at the head of the throttle. When that green flag came out, he rocketed on the outside, and he's going to have the race lead as he clears the Mean Bean. So move the 9, Gavin Roop, to the race lead.
Corbin Robinson back to that number 2 position. Blaze Bacon is in the 3rd position now.
Back to 4th. Then the 3L of Justice Lenars. The 427 of Josh Hoff, the 42 of Damian Andrews, the 37 of Keller.
Blaze Bacon all over the back end of Corbin Roop. Gavin Roop. Corbin Robinson, I'm sorry. People, it's cold outside. It's Gavin Roop, Corbin Robinson, and Blaze Bacon. Your top 1, 2, 3.
The Sizzler to the outside of the Mean Bean for the 2nd spot. Trying to get around that 68 machine behind Gavin Roop, who's got a nice lead. Coming up on lap number 9. 9 laps complete.
Blaze Bacon in the 57 goes up to that number 2 position. This time we'll be coming in on lap number 10. Lap number 10, we've got 5 to go. That was lap number 12, ladies and gentlemen. To lap 12, we got 3 to go. Gavin Root, Blaze Bacon, and Corbin Robinson are your top 1, 2, 3. Okay, white flag coming out this time, 1 lap to go. Gavin Root, Blaze Bacon, Corbin Robinson. Okay, checker flag comes out for car number 9, Mr. Gavin Root. Blaze Bacon in the 57 is second. Corbin Robinson in the 68 is third. The 9, Jimbo Root, and then Justin Lenars in the 3L is fifth.
All right, still got our officials race coming up. That will end the evening, but Gavin Roop, a nice strong win in that number 9. In the number 9, $520 compact buy-in feature winner. Getting ready to climb out from Barn Hill, Ohio. His competitor is coming up to wish him congratulations. Here's your winner, Gavin Root. Man, this thing, listen, you had to pass the mean bean on the outside. You got a perfect restart. So watching down there in turn 4, you and Blaze were side by side at the head of the throttle, and this thing just took off. And then you passed the bean on the outside. Talk to me about it, man.
I seen him on the outside. Well, wait, never mind. I was on the outside, and I knew I had to get the start. And as soon as I hit the start like I did and got rolling good, I just kept waiting for him to disappear. As soon as I seen it, I just let her go.
There you go. I tell you what, it's stuck on the outside. Honestly, how cool is it when you're in victory lane and the guys that you just beat get to come over and say, hey, congratulations, man, good race. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's good stuff when your competitors come up and tell you good job, man. So, listen, you're going to be a dad pretty soon. That's pretty cool too, huh?
Yeah, 1 more month to go.
1 more to go. Maybe you'll have a Christmas baby.
Yeah, hopefully it's a little bit before that.
Hopefully a little bit before that. Congratulations, buddy. Go win another one tomorrow.
I'll try. Ain't that good. Thank you.
Yep. All right, it ain't that good. All right, Gavin Roop, your winner. He wins the compact buy-in race. Get ready.
All right, folks, we're going green flag racing next time around. Ed Cortman, the 3L. In the number 5, I believe, is Hoopin Gardner. Oh, Matthew Helms, I'm sorry. 57 is Dave Hoopin Gardner. 68 is Dan Heron. And the 69 is Terry Coletti. Green flag racing. Matt Helms takes the lead. Matt Helms spins out in 1 and 2 with a yellow flag coming out. Caution.
You said Matt Helms took the lead. I said, no, he didn't.
He drove her in a little too hard, Chris.
Now, I'm not walking through that door either. You keep trying to open me up for things, for me to say bad things, and I'm not doing it.
I know. I tend to do that to myself sometimes, but it is what it is.
And your Hall of Fame retiree flagman, Terry Coletti in the 69.
Folks, Little Hand's taking the 68 car, Dan Heron, for this race. What about you, Chris? What are you doing?
I got the 57. I already called that one.
All right.
Green flag in the air.
Gary Smith got Coletti.
Well, my car's not doing so good. Come on, David. Matt Helms way up the racetrack. Dan Herron, your race leader. Terry Coletti runs second.
Chris Gale, we're going to have a heck of a battle here in a couple laps between Herron and Coletti.
Ed Cortman and the Energizer Bunny are bringing up the rear. Dan Herron out racing Terry Coletti right now. And the field laps, Ed Cortman in the 3L.
In the 68 car, he's coming. Whoa, he gets a little loose.
Ed had enough. He said, I'm done. I'm sure he got tired. He probably needs a cheeseburger.
Yeah, Ed needs a cheeseburger and a beer for sure.
White flag in the air for Dan Herron. Running in the third spot, Matthew Helms. Dave letting me down off of turn number 4. Twin checkers for Dan Herron. Finishing second, Terry Coletti. Finishing third, the number 5, Matthew Helms. Finishing in the 4th spot, the 57 of Dave Hoopengarner. How about giving these officials a big round of applause? Terry Coletti, did you have fun, brother?
Oh, man, that was so much freaking fun. I see what you mean about not getting in these. I should have listened to you.
Yes, you should have. Good job, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
All right, TC finishes in the 2nd spot. Ricky Bobby getting ready to climb out of the Mean Bean machine. He doesn't know how to get out of the freaking car. I'm on fire. I'm on fire. There you go. Jeez, Al Pete, you don't even know how to friggin' put down the window net. Getting ready to climb out in his Wonder Bread uniform, Ricky Bobby, also known as Dan Herron. Did you have fun?
You ain't first or last.
Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was a good time.
All right. The Mean Bean gave you a good car. Coletti was all over you, and you put the hammer down, bud.
I knew Terry would be my biggest competition just from years past. He had a little bit more experience than everybody else, and Bucky gave him a good car, so had to watch out for him.
Other than that, it was set sail. Sure you want to thank Mean Bean, right?
Yeah, thanks, Corbin, for the let me run this thing. Glad you had faith in me.
You want to thank Fig Newtons, right?
Sure, I just don't know what to do with my hands.
I get it. I get it. Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks.
Your winner, Dan Herron. All right, that's going to do it for the first night of our Fall Classic. Go out and party. Have a good time. Please be careful going home. And make sure, Dan, get back over there. Please be careful going home, and we will see you here tomorrow. Once again, racing starts just a little after 1 o'clock. Gates open at noon.